and welcome to INFS 1010. I'm Julia Bell, and I'm your professor for this course. Today would have been the first day of class, but we had a snow day today on this January the 20th of 2016. I'm going to show you a few things about getting into this course and how to get started. I'm going to revert and share my screen right now. I'm going to share this screen with you. Okay. What you should be seeing now is eLearn. You want to go down to this course. This is the course you're in. If you wonder why it has a combined section, that's the thing we do to save space at Walter State. Let me show you two things you really need to know. Under your name, you'll use the down arrow. Go to Account Settings. This is a good thing to do to set up your email. I'm going to go Email, tab at the top. If yours are not already checked, please make sure these are checked. Include original message in email replies, and save a copy of each outgoing message to the sent folder. This makes it much easier on me, your professor, when I get a response and you just say, yes. Well, what question are you asking? Are you answering? What question are you asking? I don't know, if you don't include the original email reply. In this case, this is checked, and I've got a copy saved, and I can just simply click Save or Save and Close. One more step is a good idea. In the signature area, go ahead and just type your first and last name. I've done that. Now choose Save and Close. Or, this is one thing I did. I also forwarded the email to an external account, which means outside of eLearn. I can't respond from this other email address, but I can at least know that there's something important going on in your life that I need to look at. So I'm going to save. Brings me back to this first screen. One more item of business. Here, and I'm going to Notifications. Notifications sent via email, you'll put that here. If you want it sent to your mobile phone, you'll register here. Select a country. I'm in the United States. Select your carrier, whatever your carrier is. If you're using those track phones from Walmart, for instance, I know that those work with the Verizon Wireless. So if you choose the Verizon Wireless, that will work fine if you're using the track phone. If you're using AT&T, select AT&T, or if you're using Cricket or whatever it is that you're using, arrow down here, put in your mobile phone number. This is not mine, I'm just going to put in a number. You'll need the area code and then the full number. You tell it save, and it's going to send a code to your phone. I'm going to cancel out of that. If you wanted to do that, go ahead and put that in. Here are your choices. You can choose if content's been added, discussions, Dropbox, if it's a due date's within 2 days. In this course, just about everything is going to be in My IT Lab, so that's probably not the best choice for this class. Your other classes, it's a fabulous thing to know. News items is probably the most important for this class. If an item has been updated or a new item. This column will send it to that email address. This column will send it to SMS, means your system message. So whatever cell phone number you've listed will get a text message saying a new news item is available for, and it gives you the course number and name. Once I've got that changed, I'll click Save, and it'll send it to me. In my case, I don't want to make any changes, so I'm just going to cancel. But this can be a lifesaver. I use the news items in this course quite a bit, so you will get updated. Every time I put a news item out there, it'll push it out either here via email. This one, if we send it to your cell phone via text message. So again, your choice. I canceled because I didn't want to make any changes. Here is your course. I put a start message out here, some of the things you need to do. Here I put the closing notice for today, since the school is not open today. In eLearn, a couple of things. Here's the welcome message. Talks about what materials are required for the course. In this course, I really want you to have My IT Lab and the paper book. I can't stress enough the importance of that book. We're not going to do just simulations in this course. We're going to actually create documents. So you will find the paper book very helpful. For students who have 3 monitors at home, or I can use an ebook on one screen, work on another. But for this type of computer course, I found that having the actual book is by far, the paper in your hand will work far better. If you go down here and click on this link, and you can begin the setup process. Up here's where it refers to it, what materials you need. Here's a little short video on pop-up blockers. A pop-up is, for instance, on my screen, if I had a little red X up here at the top right, that means that I couldn't go to the next web page because my system thought something was going on and it blocked that action for happening. That's a pop-up blocker. So anything it deems is going to another site, maybe not a good thing, it just blocks that. But you can click on the red X and say allow, and then click on the choice again and it will go. But again, this is a great video on pop-up blockers. Verifying your home computer, here is actually some training on that to see if it works. Here's another video on setting up My IT Lab. If you already have a mastering lab through the math department or the English department, you might not want to set up a new account, but just activate the software here. If you have not yet bought My IT Lab, don't worry. You can go ahead and get started for 14 days for free. But before that 14 is up, you need to purchase the access so you can create a temporary account. Remember that completing the orientation material, which is due a week from today, counts toward 5% of your total grade. I'm going to click on this link. When you click on it, it asks you to set up your account and walks you through the process. You don't have to know the course code. We have built that in the macro that runs that link. So that part's done for you. But you'll have to set up an account, answer questions about your name, email address, give it either your StarMail email address or another one. If you give it the eLearn one, it won't work. That's a closed system. I'm going to click. Now mine takes me in. Yours will ask more questions here. Mine's already set up, so it's going to take me straight in. There we go. When I get into course materials, as a student right now, here's what you see. The orientation. I click on that and it opens up. There are 10 steps. The first step here, I will run the setup of My IT Lab. Here's a video on how to do it for your PC. Here's one for a Mac in case you're running it on a Mac. Here you can download My IT Lab browser tune-up. And here's where you can get Firefox if you want that browser. And here is to learn more about the technical requirements on your PC for that. I'm going to click on this one. In the browser tune-up, it says, okay, do you have a PC or do you have a Mac? I have a PC in front of me. I also have a Mac. Then I will click on this link. Down here, download it. I'm running Chrome. Double click. Mine opened on another screen, so double click here and then double on the setup. So double click is clicking the left mouse quickly 2 times, kind of like click, click. It's going to run that setup. Take a few seconds here to get started. There it goes. Okay. Bring it over where you can see it. The reason mine says repair My IT Lab is I have already installed it. So if you are getting this error, it's not an error. It means, congrats, you already did this once. So I won't have to do anything else. But if you haven't, you go through the series of steps of next, next, next. think there's 3 next, then an OK. I think lastly a finish. So I'm going to say finish because I have done what I'm supposed to do. I clicked the wrong one. That's all right. All right. And I'll close this, and I can close this window because I've done that part. I'm going to see what this next item has to say. Okay, we want you to take a screenshot of that browser tune-up running that you installed on your desktop. Okay. To get credit for this assignment. If you don't know how to take a screenshot and you're running Windows 8, I'll click on this instructions. Here's a video. I'm going to stop that. And it's going to show you how to do that and how to take a screen clip. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that icon over where you can see what's going on. Here's mine. All right. I'm going to minimize some of these things. And I move this icon over from another screen. I'm going to double click on it. This is running the My IT Lab setup. Checking my operating system. Now it says down here, close any running instances of supported browsers before proceeding, else the application will close the same. Okay. I personally can't close the browsers because I'm talking to you through a web browser. So I'm going to have to just let that sit. I'm going to show you how to take a screenshot. I'm going to go here, click on the Windows key, and do the word snip, S-N-I-P. That does a search, and this is the one we want, snipping tool. Double click. Give it a second to start. Mine went over to another window. I'm going to go new. Notice this little plus sign. Click left and drag across. Now I've got a picture. All I have to do is save it. I'll just do a file and a save as. If you're unsure where yours is saving at, you can for now put it on the desktop and give it a name. I need the name of this one. What is my browser that gave me the instructions? Here you go. Last name, first name, Wizard. Minimize that. Okay. Last name for me would be Bell. First name, Julia. Okay. And I've got it saved as a JPEG. It's going to put it on the desktop so I can find it right now. I'm going to say save. I now have a picture of this to submit to my instructor. I'm going to close out of that. This thing, I'm not going to run it any further because it will close this browser. I can go down here at the bottom and right click and close it. You don't want to do that, but I have to. Otherwise, the session will end. Okay, I've got that done. Now I'm going to go back to my browser. I've taken a screenshot and I'm ready to submit. If you have a Mac, here are the examples and a tutorial on how to take a screenshot from a Mac. It's just a little different than a PC. If you've never submitted anything to a Dropbox, especially one in a Pearson product, here are complete instructions on how to do that. And it walks you through that. I'm going to shut that down, close that video, but I wanted you to see that. If you can't find where you were before, look at the bottom. If you hover here, hover means to sit for a moment. This is the one I was on. Anytime you see a stack like this with more than one icon picture, just sit there for a second, and then if there's two, they both will appear. I need to choose and submit that file. You remember I put it on my desktop. It should be in order by application and then by file folder, and then you'll see them by individual file. Here is the one I'm looking for, Bell with Julia Wizard. Choose open. You are not finished. Two more things. Click add. The file name has to move from here to here. Almost finished. Finish and submit for grading. But again, if you do not do the add part to bring the word over to here, it won't submit a file. It will submit nothing. Are you sure you want to submit this? Finish. Yes, I am. If you don't get this, submitted for instructor grading, file loaded successfully, then you did not submit the file. So keep that in mind. I'm going to return to my course. So I now have an item submitted here. It says I've submitted it twice because I did this the other day practicing. Has it been graded yet? No. This is one of those documents that the instructor must open and physically grade. So it's not graded yet. Here is the call or chat line. If you have problems with My IT Lab, that you can call or chat with them directly. And this is dedicated for My IT Lab. I have now finished step 1. I'm going to navigate backwards. I'm going to click right here. Great. Step 1 is finished. Now I need to do step 2. Again, after I finish 2, I will go back. This is a copy of the syllabus, and here is the quiz about the syllabus. Again, this does count. There are points to be assigned. Syllabus is also out there in eLearn. It downloaded here. I'll open that. Here it is, open on the second page. Name of the course, semester. If you're in W21 of this course, I only uploaded one here, so forgive me for that. Where my office is located, name of the book you will need, and of course My IT Lab. There is no optional material for this course, so that's why I put, you don't have to purchase optional, but we don't have any. Supplemental materials, you might want a flash drive, some headphones to watch some of the videos that are nice. They have an e-text app for your iPad, iPhone, or your Android, so you can read the electronic book on that if you wish. I personally prefer the paper, but your My IT Lab by default comes with an electronic version, if you buy the version that has that. The outcomes for this course, the things that we expect you to learn. Okay. Testing procedures, please don't cheat. Your friend submits your same document, and you submit your same document, 0, 0 for both. In many cases, if they are in separate classes, we can still tell, so please don't do that. There's no way of knowing where it came from originally. In some instances, and some it's very trackable, so please keep that in mind. Both submit the same document, both get zeros. Here's the breakdown of the points for this class. 5% of your total grade is the orientation, 13% Windows, 13% concepts, 23% from Word, 23% from Excel, PowerPoint 23%. The grading scale is the typical Walter State scale. 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, and so forth. If you're wondering, what about an 89.5? Great question. I have an easy answer for that one. I take into consideration your attendance and if your documents and stuff are always on time. If so, it would be my pleasure to give you those extra point 1, 0.2, 0.3, whatever. If you're mostly not in class and your stuff is constantly missing, then I am sorry. Your grade is what it is. In-class students, this is a college-wide policy. Excessive cuts over 10% of the time, letter grade. That's bad. That means if you had an A and you just didn't come to class, the school does reserve the right to cut your grade. If you run into a hardship, please let me know up front, not 3 months afterward. If you're an online student, what's considered the first day of attendance is completing that orientation material. No complete the material, no present. That's how that works. Last day Is the last test or assignment that was due, did you turn it in? Course ground rules. My biggest pet peeve is cheating. Let's just don't even go there. Don't do it. If you have a disability and you need assistance, I've included the room and the phone number for those folks. Tutoring services. Tutoring at Walter State is free. So please take advantage of those. It's offered on every campus. I've listed phone numbers and buildings and room numbers. Those people do a great, great job, and we're so appreciative. There is an English tutoring lab and a math tutoring lab. Again, a very great service. Walter State does have computing technology folks on about every campus. Here are those numbers to call if you need help. Financial aid. It is imperative that you get counted present the first day of class for financial aid. It's also imperative you stay in class for financial aid. Stopping coming to class could result in loss of financial aid or in a payback situation. I'm not as familiar with that, so you need to check with those people in financial aid, but both of those can be a problem. If classes are canceled, ws.edu is a good place. Here are some of the other places to look for those cancellations. Dual enrollment. If for some reason you are a student who's still in high school and a dual enrolled in this class, refer to your high school's inclement or bad weather policy for cancellations. It is your responsibility to attend classes. If you miss, you need to let the instructor and myself know as soon as possible. Again, 3 months later is not good. I wasn't able to be there last month because, wow, you've already missed a whole lot of stuff. Library information, technical support, phone support, inappropriate class activities. I'll let you read that for yourself. The syllabus is a living item. We do reserve the right to make changes throughout the semester. I'll let students know if those have been made. Please don't share your passwords. Okay. I'm going to close that. Going to go back. There's now a quiz on the syllabus. One of the items in the syllabus that I didn't highlight on was when's the last day to drop this class? You need to look for that before you take this quiz. Where can you find the last day to drop or withdraw? See, I told you. I'm going to just close that. So I'm not ready to take it. I probably should read it again. Course materials, which ones to select? All right, here's some options. For my personal class, the first option is the best option. To actually have the print book and the MIT access code. That's available at the bookstore. Someone asked me, can I also purchase this somewhere else, like, say, Amazon or many other places, like half.com or Chegg or whatever? Yes, you can, but the textbook itself shouldn't be as expensive. The MIT lab code is going to be the gotcha. The textbook, for my class, I think you need the paper book. It helps do these labs and to walk through them and have a physical book to guide you. E-text comes included with the MIT lab. That's a part of it. Can you buy the print book somewhere else? And can you buy MIT lab? I have seen students buy it on different sources. The MIT lab, sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. So I'll leave that to your own discretion. Just make sure you can't buy a MIT lab code that has been opened or used. It can't be used by a second person. Policies and procedures, VLab, navigating, all these different things you do. Here are some types of MIT lab assignments. Okay, here's a how-to guide. Okay, I'm going to go back off that. Okay, how to take objective-based assessments. Here's a little video on that. This just helps. This is 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I won't play that for you, but know it's there. video tutorials here. Office features, I'll show you one of those. And she goes through this. You can stop it at any time. You can fast forward. You can rewind. Closed captioning is right there. So she's talking, that's going to appear. When you're finished with this one, you can close that window. And that's from the video tutorials. Office features, e-text. I'll bring that up so you can see what electronic text looks like. Came with the yawns, that's wow. There we go. This is Chapter 1, an Introduction to Office Features. The data files for it will be here. The audio PowerPoints will be here. You can skip to any one of these highlight sections or just go to the next page like I do. In the ebook, when you see this, it means you build it with no starting file. So what files do you have to start with? None. These things are actually built from scratch. Go forward. Anytime there is a video, it's here linked within the e-text, or if you're using paper book, you know at that point to go look for a video. In the paper book, I can go back to the chapter and get those videos. Like for instance, you're working Word or wherever. Or if you're an ebook, I can just click it and that video comes up now. But I find that if I'm doing a lot of tasks where I do step 1, build this, do this, type this, do this, I don't like the ebook myself. I'll kill that off. Okay. If I'm done with this particular chapter of the ebook, course materials. Later in the week, right now, this is not all there is to this course. There's pre-tests to be taken. I haven't opened those yet. I didn't want to overwhelm anyone. And then the different modules for Windows and for concepts, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those will all open next week. Or a little earlier if I see people have really got this stuff done. But going through these different steps, there are points assigned. There's points to be gained here, and here, and here, here. So that's 1, 2, 4, 5. This one is 6. Yes, there's 2 items in 6. There's a quiz on navigating my IT lab. 7 has 1, 2, 3 things in it that are graded. 8 has 1 item that's gradable. 9 has 1 item that's gradable. 9 has you working with zip files. A zip file is one that comes compressed and is really not ready to use until you extract it. So these set of instructions work you through extracting that and getting it ready to use. Number 10 is post a discussion item. Okay. I'm going to end this a little early because I haven't seen anyone out there. I want to thank you, and I did make a recording of this, and I hope you have a great day. And this has been Julia Bell, professor of INFS 1010 sections 1 and 21 for spring of 2016.